it real slow, baby. I got this. If you like it real slow, I got this. Wanna take the shortcut? I know the way. I know the way. If you like to be alone, I like to watch. If you like to be alone, I like to watch. If you want some good loving, baby, I'll give you all I got. All I got on one. If you got the time, baby, I got to ride high.
You very tricky, sir. You very.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Funkatopia Live WTF. I am your host, Mr. Christopher, and that was the man that you just saw jam, Mr. Michael Bland.
Took me back, man. Oh Lord.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So we're gonna be talking a little bit about releases tonight. And talking about albums and videos and whatnot. And you know, the same company that did the treatment on Glam Slam is the same company that did the treatment on that little video clip that you have, but that video as an entirety is still yet to be released. It's just kind of just been sitting there, but that clip just started floating around. Shout out to Baron 3121. Happened to see that and was like, oh, okay, all right then. All right, there you go.
You're talking about the Sacrifice of Victor, the Bagley's Warehouse show. Yeah, I'm surprised that one never really. A lot of people don't know about it still, even. You know?
Well, it has that treatment now, and so now it's been kind of it. That's the reason why it looked as crisp and stuff as it did. So it's.
So you saying that there's something on the horizon?
Yeah, not. Officially, we're going to talk about this. Not officially, unofficially.
Another word till we get the ticker moving.
Yeah, we got the. Yeah, that's right. We got to get that ticker going.
Right
we got to start with that. Yeah, we should have. We should have started with that. Funkatopia Live is not endorsed or affiliated with Prince, Paisley Park, or the Prince Estate. All commentary here is just us talking. It's all rumor and conjecture, unless you hear otherwise from an official source. It's just us, just talking and also every now and then, I'll share clips like that I kind of we discover online or that was sent to me and whatnot. And Prince never had an issue with that. He had an issue with it being packaged and resold, and he wants people to see stuff, but in the same note, he's not a huge fan of bootleggers, and that obviously is not a bootleg. That is that's something that exists. And they probably, if they remarketed that and repackaged it, it would be a monster. It would be a monster.
They could do the same thing to it that everybody's doing with Sign of the Times that happened with the Glam Slam show from January of '92. Yeah, I think it belongs in that canon because it's essentially the and deconstruction of that band happening as we speak. Like after that, I don't think we ever played together as a septet or a octet or whatever. I don't know if it happened very often after that. That was the last performance of that tour, of the Act 2 tour in London.
Well, it was a hell of a closer, let me tell you.
Yeah, we left Bagley's at like 6:30 in the morning or 7. And we had to be at the airport like at 9:30, 10. We literally went back to the hotel, got our luggage, put it in, like we went directly to Heathrow.
Lisa's asking, did Scott McCullough shoot the Bagley's Warehouse? Do you even know who shot it?
That was Paris Patton, the guy who also shot the video for Peach and The Undertaker.
Yeah, there you go. Your memory is just immaculate, man. I gotta
use it before I lose it, man.
I gotta start reading and stuff again, because when I was actually actively reading books and actively, using my brain to kind of, do things and keep it lubricated.
Yeah.
It just, but it's just work. It's just, everything is just so overwhelming. It just kind of just sat. And I don't think I'm alone. My apologies. Normally we go and say hello to everybody. And of course we want to say hello to everybody this year. So shout out to all you fine folks. We're not going to go through the normal roll call, but thank you guys so much for joining us here tonight. Again, I'm your host, Mr. Christopher. This is Mr. Michael Bland. And while this typically between 7:45 and 8 is a pre-show, we just, when on free-for-alls, we just kind of just go for it.
Yeah, we're going to rock, man. Yeah.
Yeah, we just kind of go. And the other thing, too, is that, it kind of gives us a chance to cut up a little bit. And I may open up the phone lines. I am still I'm still debating on that. And it's just because I think we had, when Jesse Johnson was on the show, we had tested out, because this done via Google Voice. And I think we had tested it out and Jesse was like, oh, this sounds like crap. But, you know, when you're dealing with phone calls, it does sound like that. It's not this crisp, clear audio quality, especially when you're talking to a guy that's, you know, buried in the studio.
That too. Yeah. Getting this much bandwidth. Right.
Right.
2 bars.
Yeah. So yeah, it is. Man, but I will go ahead and preface this before we start into this conversation. Again, the core of our conversation tonight is going to be on releases. Because a lot of people have had some questions about, look, we got the acoustic version of Free this year, and that's it. That's it.
Okay.
And so I think there's been some speculation, and there was some things that there was a conversation that started churning up on Twitter or X. I guess I got to stop calling it Twitter. But it was a conversation that started, and I kind of did a little bit of a deep dive. And so I do want to, again, give some shout outs to a couple of people on X that, you know, really gave me a teaching of some of the things that have been going on in the background. And I don't know how they were privy to some of these things, but, you know, we kind of got a little bit of data from here, there, and everywhere. But definitely shout out to Vas Christian and Baron 3121 for, you know, kind of filling me in on some of the little, you know, finer components that I may have missed. And we'll talk about these. But let me just say, congrats, man. The Vikings got their first open up game, man. Come on now.
I'm from Minnesota. I'm not even flinching. Not yet, man.
Let me just say, oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, Corey. You're right. Corey Heison's in the house. What's up, brother?
Oh yeah,
Side of the Times. Yeah, he's been binging Funkatopia. Side of the Times live just released last week. Yeah, that's true. That's true too. The live one, right?
You talking about the studio release? I mean,
no. It's the
release rather.
No, well, no. The IMAX thing had nothing to do with the estate thing. They actually released the Side of the Times live track, the song, the live track, on Spotify and all the sources. So yes,
the movie.
Yes.
Okay.
So from that session.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, amazing football. The football. I don't know if it's just me, and I hope there's somebody else that agrees with me, but I don't know if I've just been disconnected or whatever. But I started watching, you know, the sports ball since it started. And restarted back up, which my wife is really excited about. She's like, yay. But I feel like this year the teams are like playing harder and more vicious. And I mean, I'm seeing hits and some freight train runs that I mean, I don't know what's going on, but there's some teams that are going to be really interesting to watch this year because they're playing lights out like they're in like the end of the season. I mean, the Falcons did really, really great. They lost, but it was actually really good considering the new makeup. But Tampa Bay's playing killer. Green Bay's playing great. The Ravens-Bills game was incredible. That was an amazing game. So, I mean, just to kind of see, I mean, everybody's coming out swinging, and they're coming out swinging hard. And of course, there are some teams that are not coming out. They're really struggling out of the gate, like Miami Dolphins and stuff.
All right.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm very optimistic about a pretty exciting football season, but that's all I'll say about that. I wanted to get that out because I know you were questionable on how the Vikings were going to actually perform this year, and it looked pretty good. They look pretty good.
All right. Well, any real Vikings fan is not jumping up and down the hollering like we know better, man.
I know.
And I'm not even that much of a fan, but it's like, what are you going to do? They're the hometown team.
Yeah. Well, as being a Falcons fan, I can tell you, the one time we were at the Super Bowl is memorable for all the wrong reasons. So I just,
All right. Well,
I've just learned to kind
I
of
say-
accept things and
yeah. Let's we can leave this. We can go to the next subject.
Yeah, let's
Cheers.
do that. Cheers. Yeah, let me just say, it's been a really interesting week. It's been I actually got out thank you to all the Patreon supporters for having a lot of patience. I did actually, those bags that I was showcasing last show, all of them are out. So literally I sent everything out today. I took a picture of all the packages I had sent out, all the individual, even the other folks. I sent out these IMAX cards to people who may not have gotten one. So for all you Patreon supporters, I all that stuff was sent out today. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know that you got it, or let me know that you didn't get it. But you know, it's pretty awesome. I mean, it was like one of these things that was like hanging over me, because I would like to get things out to the Patreon supporters, but it's like, it's such an undertaking. It's like doing taxes. It's like, you know, it's because you're sitting down and it's just like so many addresses and things, and people saying, oh, my address has changed, and you're like updating this and update. It's a lot. It's just a lot.
I hear you.
So I get it, man. You know, but just let me know. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, and if you guys have any questions or anything sporadic type of thought that comes in your mind, like it does with us, please put it in the chat room. We'll make sure that we can get to all these questions, because there was already a couple of questions for you that you saw that I saw.
I think Kurt was the one to draw first blood. That was the Electric Vibe, I think.
Yeah, that was all the way at the top. Let me I was just making sure.
Oh, you had it, you marked it 651.
Yes, I did mark it. Okay. Yeah, so Electric Vibe, Michael Bland, did Prince ever mention Spinal Tap and its humor, or was that something he didn't dig?
I never heard him talk about it. I'm pretty sure the movie was at Paisley Park in one of the studio lounges. I'm quite sure it made the rounds, but I don't even I don't remember Prince anybody ever mentioning that movie at all. To be honest, which is crazy, because we had plenty of moments where things didn't work.
Well, shout out to Heidi Hexeth, who I guess what is her name? She was playing Tal Wilkenfeld. She was playing guitar with Spinal Tap, which kind of helps to make the connection. You know, we every week I talk about the degrees of separation of Prince from, so there was an attachment right there. There was a degree of separation that Tal just connected to Spinal Tap, which isn't even a real band. I mean, they are. You know what's funny is that when I was in, I'll have to showcase this. Yes, we are going to get to this discussion, but this is what Free for All is all about. When I was in, I'm going to see if I can pull this up. I'll just have to show it on the screen here. But when I was in South Carolina, I happened to see an album that cracked me up, and I was like, wait, this was a real thing. And I can't remember where we were at. We were at, there it is. So I don't know if you can see this. I'll make myself big, but Lenny and Squiggy from Laverne and Shirley actually had an album.
I believe it.
It was an actual album. And of course, Lenny is the lead singer of Spinal Tap. But this is what's interesting is that I saw this. I said, Lenny and Squiggy from Laverne and Shirley have an album. And I was like, this is crazy that exists. I actually almost bought it, but it was like $15. I was like, I'm not that interested.
I was going to ask you because
I said, I'm not that interested.
I noticed even when I was a kid, I was like, those songs are too good to be like throwaway songs like in this awful sitcom. Like they had a couple. They were all like 50s ripoffs. Night after night, sound like Sha Na or somebody. But they're very facetious and stupid songs. But they're good songs. I mean, I think Michael McKean really has talent. They have actual talent, those dudes.
Yeah, they do. And Squiggy's passed away like about 10 years ago. Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah. But I mean, it's funny, man. Those dudes were very that whole little clique with Christopher Guest and Harry Shearer and their relationship to the Simpsons and all that. And I mean,
yeah,
those dudes are totally just like mad talented, man.
Yeah, it's definitely I was actually just surprised to see it. All right, we got another question from Revolution 86. Make a question for you. If you had to give up one of your personal items to Jelly Bean's Minneapolis sound musician, what would you give up as an artifact?
I don't know, man. Really, I'm still in circulation. I need my gear, man. I need my equipment.
Yeah.
I'm still making a living out here.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really there's nothing that I have that they don't have there.
Yeah, I have a bunch of, well, I was going to say I wouldn't want to just give them all my Minnesota Music Awards that are sitting in my closet just doing nothing but collecting dust, but they should go somewhere. And I'm not vain enough to have them on display in my home. You know, the gold records, I have a few hanging upstairs, but yeah. It's not really my style. I would donate any of that, but you know, I don't know. We didn't get to keep a lot of that stuff. I mean, I don't think I have any. I might have one hat in this closet somewhere, but a lot of the clothing was damaged with 1 hour martinizing in
I remember
in
you
Sydney, Australia.
That sucks. Yeah.
It's just like that we were working in that gear, so
feeling like I'm not getting enough light. I feel like my screen is darker, but that's okay. It's all right.
It does actually look a little darker to me too.
Yeah, it's okay. Andrew says he's going to be in Atlanta this weekend. What's going on? Maybe we can meet up and jam a little bit.
Jam with you, man.
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to stay available because a lot of people don't know this, but 9/11 is this Thursday, and my wife and I were married on 9/11 in 1999.
Okay,
2 years before the attacks happened on New York City. And then, if that's not enough, 3 years later, my wife went into labor with my daughter, Jolie, on 9/11. So 9/11 is not only my wedding anniversary, it'll be the 26th wedding anniversary this Thursday, but also my daughter's 23rd birthday this Thursday. So I don't know if any of that stuff is going to kind of reach its always got to stay available that week for sure.
Yeah.
This week. So but reach out to me, Andrew, funkatopia@gmail.com. Reach out to me and let me know where you're going to be or what area of the world you're going to be in. And maybe we can, I love connecting with Funkatopians, man, all day long, every day. What have I missed here? There's a lot of stuff. We already answered that question, but I've been seeing so many funny videos. Have you been watching some of these AI videos where they take like famous skits or famous pieces of shows and they babyize them? So it's like they kind of got babies.
I've seen it.
Yeah, some of these are just hilarious. Yeah, some of them are hilarious. Here, let me just share one that's a minute and a half long, just for laughs, just so we can kind of segue. Just for laughs, let's enjoy one from Martin of all places. Check this out.
You gave Myra a perm without neutralizer. I forgot. Oh my God, Myra.
Oh, am I almost done, Shanae? I got to get home and season my gizzards.
Oh, Myra, girl, you come here all the time. You love it here because your day do the head on it. Oh, Myra. Oh, Myra. Oh, Rhodesia, go get the Polaroid. I gotta take a picture of this.
Is that nice?
Myra, it is gorgeous, Myra. You are gonna turn heads.
Oh, that's for sure.
Myra, I know it takes your breath away, right? Oh, ball! So is Grace Jones.
She's gorgeous.
Sinead O'Connor! Yes, she is fierce, girl.
Oh, Eartha Kitt. She ain't bald. You don't know Eartha like I do.
I look like Eartha Kitt right now.
Better than Eartha.
Wow, man.
They are getting really good. They're getting really, really funny. So I mean, it's just I saw that.
I mean, it's just the recycling of
I know
the culture is crazy to me, man. Are we really at that point? Even
it doesn't matter whether you're ready or not. It's here. It's
I guess
it's happening.
It's like the first time I turned the oldie station on and I heard 1999. I was like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, I know.
Who told me? Yeah, I didn't know that song was an oldie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know.
Still bumping it at the house.
I always think what's funny to me is that some of these things, I don't know. Some of these things are just too much. Some of them are just too much. So, anyways,
I agree.
Anyways, let's get into it. We'll get into discussion. Just so you know, next week we will be off. So unless something crazy happens next week, we will be off. So just
if something crazy happens, we can get on. Actually,
right. I mean, if something if something goes over, I guess. Electric Vibe had another question, but we'll start some of these questions and we'll answer them at the end of the show. All right. So tonight we're going to have a little bit of discussion, and when we set the free for all, really didn't have too much of a topic. I think
we don't need no topic. I got about 8 or 9 things I could beef about off the dome.
Right. I know. I know. Oh, if you got beefs, we can go there. But here's the thing. I really wanted to talk about releases here for a second because there's a lot of activity that's going on X about essentially what happened is, and we'll just talk about it. Somebody had started a discussion that I'm paraphrasing, and I won't say who it was, but they were saying, I can't believe the estate canceled the box set for this album. Are you familiar with this album, Michael?
Yes, it's somewhat.
Yeah. So
they decided they're not putting it out now.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't even know that there was a box set that was apparently in discussion for this album at all. So, of course, my feedback on this, for those that are wondering, or you're listening to this on audio, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Odyssey, whatever, it is a Symbol album. And there was some discussion online about that the estate has made a decision to cancel the Symbol album. Now, before you get all upset towards the estate, I don't recall them ever saying that this was going to be a box set in the first place. Now, not that it couldn't be, and I'm absolutely positively could be. And when I asked the original poster, I said, I don't recall them. I will tell you what I have heard them say was coming, but that was never one of them. So, and that was my primary concern, was that, we kind of start this diatribe. We kind of start these conversations about, the estate didn't do this and the estate didn't do that. And the problem that occurs when that happens is that you start to get a bunch of people really, really upset and get them all riled up. Mm-hmm. And when they get riled up like that, when the core piece of information maybe wasn't true, because again, I never heard that there was going to be a box set. However, there was, and I do remember seeing this, and I have a picture of it just so you guys can see it. I do remember that this appeared on Reddit. It was, I guess, one of the, at some point in time, the Symbol album was pressed as a remaster, as you can see here. All the the sticker matches up. Apparently, somebody did a deep dive and did some research on the numbering convention that they saw on the UPC. Everything really here looks really legit, and if you do a little bit of it looks like a legit product that was pressed. And of course, if you do a zoom in on the backside of the remastering of this album, you'll see that it's essentially a remastering of the album. And then they've included two other, well, I guess another vinyl, I guess. I don't know how many vinyls were in this. I guess 4. Yeah, 4.
Yeah.
You'll see that it's singles, mixes, and other remasters, which is basically you have the album itself, and then you on the 3 and 4, you have Sexy MF, the clean version. Okay.
Oh, that's you sexy mother. That one.
Is that what it is?
Well, first time we heard that, we didn't know what was going on, man.
Yeah. So, anyways, so and then you have Sexy Mother, and then a few different versions of My Name is Prince. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different versions of My Name is Prince. Also, To Whom It May Concern, and then a couple, 3 versions of 7, an After 6 version, an acoustic version, and then Mix's long version, and then a couple of Damn Yous, and then the radio version of Peach. So, all right. So again, while it's pretty obvious, and of course it has the Estate logo on it in the corner, it has the MPG Records logo on it. So it did exist. It did exist. It does not mean, here's my take. It does not mean that it has been canceled. I think what typically happens is they kind of make decisions about certain things. Sometimes there's legal, we'll talk about this. Sometimes there's legal things and other things that you are not aware of that is going on in the background that kind of causes, these people to get into a tizzy. And you go, okay, well, that's obviously they're just going to drop this. They're going to drop this album, and then when it doesn't happen, everybody gets upset, and then they're like, well, what happened to it? And then you have, somebody will say, oh, it's been canceled, and there was no announcement that it was going to be released in the first place, but you see the physical copy of it, so apparently there was an intention to release it, assuming that it's legitimate, because this is kind of a good segue from that little AI thing that we just watched. Is it a legitimate product? That looked obviously like a legitimate product, but the other problem with this is that you have a distributor who obviously is responsible for pressing the product, and you have some employee who goes rogue and takes a picture of it and throws it out online, and then so begins. And it could just be that they again, one of the things that we talked about in that they were saying is like, in order to do a vinyl pressing, in order to release a vinyl, we've had this discussion multiple times, you have to do multiple pressings of it, and then there has to be 3 or 4 albums in a row that don't have any clicks or pops or anything going on with them, and then you can commit to the final thing.
It's a process. You don't just send it and they spit out whatever they, So,
now, so in my feedback is, as far as the album is concerned, the Symbol album, I think it definitely deserves more than just a remastering and a smattering of remixes and whatever, but there could be more coming. There could be more in the works, and this could be part of that vinyl testing process.
Sure.
That they're doing. And so one person, again, takes a picture of it, because I assume that wrapping it, all that's part of the process, and that could be one of the ones that they're in the process of checking. You just don't know what's going on, and so I think people really, really get upset. Here's what I know. What I do know is that at the celebration, they made some comments about. I guess they made some comments about what is coming. All right, so here's what I do know that they said was coming. So if you want to get upset about what's not here yet, haven't really gotten to that point. But here's what they said is coming, and this was during the Vault session that they had at Celebration 2025, the Mr. Funkatopia session. A Parade box set is coming next year. That's what he said. So there is a box set for Parade. Now that particular reissue, or not reissue, and I don't mean to say it that way, that particular box set, I know I don't know. I had heard a bunch of feedback regarding the movie Under the Cherry Moon, because there was so much, I guess that movie had switched hands for distributors a whole bunch of times. So there was like certain, I don't know all the legalese or whatever, but I guess there was like a bunch of stuff tied up with that film. But the actual anniversary for that is next year. So that's why they're sitting on that. That will come next year. This year, Around the World in a Day is supposed to have a box set this year. Now that is directly from, somebody said it was Charles that said it. I was in the room, and I could be wrong. I know somebody else in the chat room was also in that room too, but I'm almost positive that it was Londell that said that, not Charles. I know people said Charles said. I'm pretty sure it was Londell that said it. Charles actually was surprisingly very, very quiet and just kind of was letting Londell kind of lead the room during that conversation. So anyways, he was the one that said, either way, it could be an old guy thing. Charles or Londell, one of them, it came out of their mouths that Around the World in a Day box set was happening this year.
Yeah.
Supposedly, another thing that's supposed to be coming was multiple documentaries, like a series of documentaries that are in the works with the Academy Award winning director that has not been identified. It's not Spike Lee. It's not Ava DuVernay. We don't know who it is, but he said, we can't name who it is. We don't want this to all, I don't know if they were still in talks or what was happening, but apparently it's already in the work. There's multiple documentaries. So the Netflix thing that was supposed to happen, I guess, is being broken apart, or repurposed. I don't know, but there is a series of documentaries that are going to be coming that everybody's going to be really excited about. The Broadway play, we already know about that. That's been in the works for what now? A couple years now, 2 years now. Another jukebox musical adaptation, not the Broadway thing, is a jukebox musical. I'm not a play guy. I don't really like plays. I don't like musicals. I'll go and see them. I've seen them. They're great. Fiddler on the Roof is great. Lion King, the Broadway thing, is great. But this is a jukebox musical, which essentially is kind of, it's more of like a play that's primarily a musical, where it's more focused on the songs and kind of stringing it together in a loose story of whatnot, which is fine. But it's a musical adaptation of Purple Rain with involvement by Ryan Coogler, who Black Panther 2, Sinners, Fruitvale Station, Creed, all that stuff. He's going to be involved, and possibly the releases of Hit and Run Phase 1 and Hit and Run Phase 2 albums like that will get reissue. And what he said is that the pattern was going to be box set, singles, like drops or whatever they refer to them as, remasterings, box set, singles, individual drops, remasterings, and I don't know if that's the specific order, but that's what he said. There would be like a pattern that kind of happens. And so far, so you can hold them to what they've said. The only thing that has not happened is that he did say that they were going to be releasing they wanted to improve transparency. And one of the things they were going to do was kind of to distribute a schedule that would kind of show what's coming. So you would know what's happening, what's going to be dropping, and, just to kind of keep the wolves at bay and just say, just chill. Everybody's just kind of waiting for this last minute information or this last minute ball to drop, because you never know what's going to happen. It's just like, bang. It's just, you wanted to say something. I'm sorry. I had to mute my mic for a second because my wife came down and said, "What's wrong? You're so quiet."
I said, he's talking.
That's because Chris won't shut up.
She's used to me. Blah, 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 blah. One moment where we're focused, I'm letting you talk.
I know. That's right.
Something's happened down here. I had a conniption or something.
No,
I mean, busted.
Well, I am curious. I mean,
I was going to say this.
Go ahead.
Here's the problem with making your promises public is that when you don't deliver, that's some egg on your face, man. I get it. It's like and especially I've just noticed that it seems like in this day and age and right now, it's like people make a lot of plans and it just switches at the last minute. Like, is there so much random cross?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's hard to rely on almost anything at this point because so many setbacks, so many ways you can get tripped up. I don't know, man. It's just like just the hassle I'm having just getting my dates down with Revelation even. It's like I had a certain dates I was working towards. All of a sudden they've switched. I feel like right now everything is not, the word is not, it's not incontinent, but it's
inconsistent.
Somehow I guess I'm just saying I understand not trying to call it from here and saying by this date we'll have this and that, and it's a weird time, man. I don't know.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I see Rodney. I see you in the house, brother. How are you? First question that Rodney asked was what is the date on the back of the the date on the back of it shows multiple copyright dates. Actually, it says 1991, 92, 93, and then it says 2023. So this is actually, and if I go back, and you can actually see it right there. Well, if you can see it, that you could probably have to make it bigger, but it's 2023 is what's on there. It's got a few years on there. So I guess it has the original copyrights and then whatever may be different for 2023 that's indicated here. So This was something that was supposed to happen, I guess, a couple of years ago, but then now somebody has started this conversation that, the estate's canceling things. Well, again, here we go. We talked about this, and Rodney, I saw your other comment too. They never said this was coming. So the fact that, but because people saw that it existed out there in the ether, is just like, see, you're getting upset about something they never said what you were going to get in the first place.
Yes.
There's a part of the process that's happening in the background. And I get it. I realize it's upset. And I think what's kind of aggravating, again, we have had 2 singles released this year, and that's it. And I also want to, before we start to get carried away on, because I'm going to keep on saying the estate just because it's easier to say, and I want to make sure we kind of clarify a couple of things. I really need to keep this scroll going. Again, for those of you just joining us,
you do.
We are not endorsed or affiliated by anything that is involved.
Yeah, they don't care about us.
Prince Paisley Park or Prince Estate.
No money changes hands. No words get spoken.
Yeah, so right. But I want to make sure that we kind of understand these things too. When I say the estate, I'm talking about them now, but a lot of the stuff that happened with some of these failings and some of these weird things that occurred, we tend, not we, but people tend to demonize Londell McMillan and Charles Spicer on a regular, and everybody has their reasoning for doing so, and for a variety of different reasons. But for the sake of what we're talking about here with the releases, they were not given the keys to any of this until the past year or two or something like that. So this was like, there were so many other people in the mix that they had nothing to do with that part. I think that was like 2022 or something like that when they even became part of this mix. And then I don't even think part of that was even the music itself was not even part of the equation. They were just kind of serving as counsel for Sharon or whatever it was. So we just want to make sure that we're not doing any bashing modes. So let's not do this right here. I want to just specifically talk about the releases. However, they did attach their names to those things that they quote unquote committed to regarding basically the Around the World in a Day box set and the Parade box set and the singles and remasterings and the and that's the biggest issue that I have is with the checklist, or not the checklist, the timeline that they said that they were going to release in order to kind of maintain a little bit of transparency. That hasn't happened. But the other thing too was on the flip side of this, on the estate side, they're probably saying, man, the second that we put one of these schedules out and we miss a target date, you was going to eat us alive.
We're already chewing on them for stuff they didn't even promise. So I mean,
I know
it's Prince fans know how they are.
Yeah,
they know how they are, man. The diehards. They want it all right now. Stop playing with me. Don't play in my face, man. Come on, estate. I know you got it. Let's have it. And, they feel like, I mean, it's almost a sense of entitlement. I get the vibe of sometimes, with some of these people when I encounter them, in real life. It's like,
well, it's just like with this one here. This one, I just kind of messed it up with this one here. For instance, the Diamonds and Pearls box set, which is a beautiful box set, very, very beautifully done, by the way. And I can't even imagine and that's the other thing too, is the amount of work that goes into making sure that all this is right. And then on top of that, checking and cross-checking and doing all the vinyl things and getting together all the photography and all this stuff. I mean,
all the legal stuff, all the legalities. It's a lot. It takes a lot, man.
Yes. I realize that is a lot. But this was supposed to drop, and this one is the super deluxe edition. So this still got the hype sticker. It just accidentally slid off. I'm gonna have to do a gummy to put this back on. But 7 CDs. You got to focus. This had 7 CDs and a Blu-ray. It's what's in there, and then of course you had the book and everything else. Beautiful, beautiful thing. But here's the thing. That was originally, what did I have in my notes? That was supposed to be an anniversary release. It was supposed to drop on October 1st, and it got delayed only by a couple of weeks later. But even in that 2-week window, and that was because of the fact that the marketing or promotion that they were doing, that they kept putting it out, was just kept on pumping that date of October 1st. And then when October 1st didn't happen, people just went haywire.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. It's for them. I will get, and I know it seems like we're pandering. I promise you, I'm not. I'm trying to be fair-minded about this process. But for them, it's got to be damned if you do, damned if you don't. But here's the thing, though.
When you're pandering.
But when nothing is happening, it's better that you do something. I mean, again, we've already talked about this. The only things that have happened this year is the acoustic version of Free that was released in June of 2025. That happened during the celebration. And then, of course, as Corey mentioned, the Sign of the Times live track clip from the film, I guess, that was done in Atmos and the whole thing. So if you have the capability to be able to hear that in all of its glory, that's out there too. But obviously you won't be able to hear. I don't think you can hear that kind of stuff on Spotify and things like that because it's all squashed. But anyways, I am a little bit confused though, because there are some other things that the other things that happen too, okay, now I know that they hate when I show this, but I'm going to do it friggin' anyways, just because the other comment that Rodney made was, well, we're not going to hit every anniversary. Understood. And so that's the reason why, actually, I'm not going to show this just yet. Let me talk about this for a second. Were you aware that Rhino, and I guess Rhino and Warner apparently released, and I guess I'll share this screen. I'm sorry for those who are listening on audio, but I'm going to share a picture of it. Michael dropped off. It's okay. He'll come back in just a moment, but I want to share this screen of I guess a tab, because it's essentially Rhino. If I can get this screen to pop up, there it is. So this is an expanded edition 2LP 40th anniversary of the Times' first album. It's an expanded edition 2LP. It has one's red vinyl, And then there's 2 albums. One's red vinyl and one is white vinyl. This is Rhino. This is a well-recognized label, Rhino. Everybody knows who Rhino is, and Warner, and they've kind of done this little thing. But it doesn't really have. But I think I saw the second LP has original single. There he is. I'll get Michael back in here real quick. Sorry, Michael, I lost you there for a second.
It's
okay. It's all right. So essentially what we're talking about was that Rhino released the expanded edition 2 LP of the 40th anniversary of the Times' first album. Has a red vinyl and a white vinyl, and it's the same track listing as on the one, and the other one has single edits of the 5 album songs with Cool in 2 parts on red and white vinyl. Now, okay, like many of you, if you want to be honest with yourself, I had no idea this even happened.
Where was that?
That was Rhino's website. I had no idea that even happened, that it even existed.
That vinyl looks tight, man.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty amazing. I thought it was great. But I didn't know it even existed. And so this is kind of where my confusion comes in a little bit. You got legacy recordings, which I guess is one side of things. You got individual distributors like Rhino who like to take old albums and remaster them or do something a little bit different with them, like they just did with the Time album. You've got Warner's who obviously puts their hands on things and whatnot. And the other thing that Rodney had said was we're gonna miss certain anniversaries, and this is for those that were at the Celebration meeting when Londell was talking about we're not going to hit every single anniversary. If you weren't there, you just hear the audio of it, which you probably never will, because I don't think that meeting will ever be publicly available. But the whole time that he was doing it, he was like burning a hole in my socket. Just kind of like, I mean, it was like laser
Somebody's
eyes.
got it on. Somebody's got the footage.
Oh yeah, no, there were multiple cameras there, but he was just like, I was really uncomfortable. But he was referring to when he was saying we can't, of course they're going to be anniversaries, it's Prince, but he's referring to this slide right here. And I'm not showing this slide for any other reason other than to kind of show you some of the things that are happening. Around the World in a Day, 40th anniversary, that's supposed to come this year. 35th anniversary of Graffiti Bridge, 30th anniversary of Exodus, 30th anniversary of The Gold Experience, 40th of The Family, 35th of The Time, and 40th of Sheila E.'s album. And then the other one that I had was for next year, but I'm not going to go through them all, but you have essentially anniversaries for Controversy, Parade, Diamonds and Pearls, Chaos and Disorder, Emancipation, Rainbow Children, and 3121. All of which are experiencing those 45th for Controversy, 40th for, so these are all anniversaries that are happening. I realize that you guys aren't going to be able to hit anniversaries, but this is also kind of goes to speak to the Rhino thing, that if Rhino can do a distribution of an album for the 40th anniversary of the Times' first album, couldn't they also take some of the weight off the estate to maybe do some releases for the Sheila E. album and for the Family's album? Couldn't there be some type of arrangement to go, okay, can you take the heat off of some of these things so we don't miss these substantial anniversaries? I don't know how all that works, but does the state have to have their stamp on everything? Because I don't think they really had their hand on the situation with the Time. And to kind of speak to that, and I'm going to let you talk, I'm going to shut up for a second, is that Morris Day actually commented on that Time anniversary on his Instagram. The original post said, so apparently Rhino Records, a division of Warner Music, is reissuing the Time 1981 debut LP celebrating 40 years. Interesting enough, no one from Rhino or Warner Music thought it was a good idea to reach out to me or any of the fellows regarding this reissue. I got a serious problem with that. Let's see how this plays out. And then, I don't know how long ago, how much later it was, but he deleted that. That's the power of the internet. He deleted that, and then he reposted this, and it says, "The power of the people. Thank you all for your love and support. Rhino Records, Warner Records reached out to both myself and manager this afternoon and vowed to make the situation regarding the Times 40th anniversary album reissue right. I was very pleased with the call. Stay tuned." So this kind of just goes to say there's different people with different pull, different capabilities as far as releasing this, that, or the other. And I don't know who holds the keys to which albums and whatnot, but it seems like there's plenty of opportunity here to capitalize on some of these anniversaries. I understand. It feels like I'm driving home. You're missing anniversaries. That's not what I'm driving home. What I'm driving home is the vast amount of opportunities that there are to make bank.
Well,
I'm saying, I mean, there's that, but for the passionate diehard fans, we want some of these things. I just, anyway.
Yeah. I don't even know if I have anything to put on that, man, really. Without, a real knowledge of the inner workings and, who's really making what happen.
Like, why wasn't the estate involved? I understand that Warner has the rights to, I guess, the Time because they released the Time, but so were most of Prince's biggest albums were all through Warner.
Mm-hmm. So why couldn't they do the same thing why couldn't Rhino do what the estate doesn't either have the resources to or the schedule to accommodate?
Well, and here's the other flip side of that too, as far as like Rhino and things like that are concerned, is that release, that Time release looked pretty badass, but as far as content is concerned, I mean, you really have to love the album to dump $32 on vinyl. It's pretty much the same album. Doesn't really make any mention of any type of remastering necessarily that I remember seeing. I don't remember seeing anything remastering. And then other than the fact that it's on red and white vinyl, and then to get single edits of songs, like why would you want a shortened version of?
Yes, exactly. First off, don't shorten any Time song. You kidding me? All that funk?
Yeah, most all Times albums had 6 songs on them.
That's right, for a reason.
Right, because they're stretched out.
That funk was uncut for a good reason. I remember when the I'm sorry, I just wanted to say this.
No, go. I want you to.
The B-sides, the B-sides, or the hits, the B-sides, when that package came out.
Right.
I remember asking Levi, so what do you think about it, man? And he said, I mean, who wants to hear a 3-minute version, of Head, or who wants to hear it was more like La 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 He was cut down to like 3 minutes 30. He's like, man, they don't get fucking till 4:45. What are they doing?
Give me this.
It's you got to have the right person curating and watching over these things, because some people are funkologists. We understand these things, that it takes some of those 12 inches a minute to percolate. Those edits messed up a lot of people, man.
Yeah. So, and that's the other thing is that how many outtakes are there? I mean, technically I can see it. Were there really any outtakes that would have been available to throw on a second album for anything from the Time or anything from Sheila E? Or
probably not, because they were working on a shoestring budget by themselves.
Right.
They were working on ingenuity and raw talent and ambition. It wasn't fancy.
Yeah, I mean, so when you look at it as far as like what happened, well, with the Time thing, when you look at anything that the estate has their hand on, it is because when they dropped Welcome to America, I actually brought them out for you guys. And it's also kind of to showcase, and maybe I probably should make myself bigger for this one, but when they did, I got the box set here of Prince of the Revolution Live. You had that one. Then you also had obviously the box set for Sign of the Times. Oops. Yep, you had the Sign of the Times. Diamonds and Pearls, which I already had. Where the hell did it go? There it is.
You just had it a second ago.
Yeah. The Diamonds and Pearls box set. Yeah, the Diamonds and Pearls box set. There's that. You also had Prince Piano on the Microphone, 1983.
Yep.
This is, I mean, so far, right out of the gate for not even, 10 years posthumously. Yeah. I mean, if you're a Michael Jackson fan, you could probably be a little bit jealous right now.
Well, that's right out the gate. That's the other thing, man. I mean,
Welcome to America. Oh, wow. Brand new album, box set, brand new album. Welcome to America.
Yeah, it's. I mean, we're talking about one of the most prolific artists in history,
and the originals. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
these are all box sets, and I have them all.
I mean, he really did enough. 1999 too. Yeah.
I've got it. It's got it over there. I got the CD version of that one. You can see that little shiny box right there. That's the 1999 box.
It's over delivered just in the natural. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like these people are fiending because they know what else is out there because they've been feverishly collecting bootlegs and whatnot since the mid 80s.
Right. Exactly.
They want so it's that fever pitch that's going on. You know, they know there's more out there, and it frustrates them.
Well,
but,
and
I mean,
the point of all that.
I mean, he released almost an album a year through the entire 80s.
And would have done more if Warner Brothers would have let him, and that was part of the contention.
Well, yes.
So there's that. So, and so again, when the estate has their hands on things, the actual estate is when you start getting product like this, and you start getting this. It's not just two vinyl little pressings that have edits that not really important. If you buy that Time Anniversary Edition from Rhino, the chances that you're going to stick that second vinyl on with edited versions of Cool or anything else is very, very improbable. And if you are, it's just maybe hear the sound quality of it once and it will never hit your turntable again. But when you get box sets, when the estate has their hands on things, and it's box sets like this that have huge, coffee table booklets. I mean, with DVDs of the show, the Glam. Yes. I mean.
It's not like it's nothing.
It's insane.
That's right.
And so when they start nitpicking about, there was a misspelling on this or a mistype on this, this, that, and the other, it's like, do you see how much stuff is in here? I would be shocked not to see something misspelled or it's I get it. I totally get it. So when the estate has their hands on things, this is what it looks like. When anybody else has it, it just kind of looks like it's a one-off or is a money grab.
Which is which is more incentive to let them do what they can. Because they clearly are, they know what the standard is. They know what the standard's been set.
Yeah.
And only they can deliver it the way it needs to be delivered. So we have to be patient and we have to work with what's being given,
Yeah. I mean, and again, as far as like the delays are concerned, we already talked about the vinyl process and everything that's involved in pressing vinyl.
Vinyl is tricky, bro.
Yeah, it's really, really tricky. But as Londell has told me before, there is so much going on in the background that we're just not aware of. For instance, I think I have a picture of this, the Gold Experience Record Store Day release on yellow vinyl. That was pretty awesome looking, but it got messed up. The release date got a little bit squashed because it was mixed up in that court case. I don't know if you guys remember this, but The Most Beautiful Girl in the World, Prince was sued for that song because there was those two, I guess, writers in, was it France? I think it was. I have their names, Bruno Bergonzi and Michel.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this. Yeah.
So they sued him for plagiarism for The Most Beautiful Girl in the World. That they said was
Italian. You're right.
Right. Yeah. Italian. That it was heavily based on their song from 1983 called "Taking Me to Paradise." I think when this first happened, I remember listening to it and go, yeah, I definitely can see that. But it was underneath the name of Raynard J, Raynard J, and it wasn't just a fluke. They won the case. So, but because of all the legalities and everything, you've got distribution things that can't happen here. It can't happen in Italy because it's not allowed to because of this, that, and the other. And there's like all this other stuff that's tied up in it. And as we were talking about before with Parade, with Under the Cherry Moon, you had all those different scenarios where things were all a mess. And now you also got the other thing that happened was when Jack White won that original pressing of Camille.
Oh, sure.
And went online and was like, oh, the states told me that it's perfectly okay for me to release Camille as a pressing. Now, what's probably, if that did happen, first off, there was some back and forth going between Jack White and I think Charles Spicer, because Charles was like, that conversation never happened. We never gave permission. It wasn't that. I'm definitely paraphrasing. But essentially, Jack White was like, yeah, it was. And the state was like, no, it didn't happen. And most likely what happened was Jack's maybe planning a release similar to what Rhino just did with The Time. He's going to press Camille. There's not going to be any fanfare or anything like that around it. It's just going to be the Camille album, just pressed just like that. But it won't be what you would like to see.
It won't be what it could be.
Yeah, it's not going to be the big bam boom that everybody thinks it's going to be. And of course, again, according to Charles, that never happened. So, and I don't see, listen, Camille would be great, but if we're going to be doing that, if we're going to be pressing albums that didn't exist, then absolutely they need to do, not the Flesh. What's the name of it? Was it the Flesh? The one that preceded Sign of the Times, and then everything kind of got dispersed onto Sign of the Times and everything else. Was it
Crystal Ball?
What? No, it wasn't Crystal Ball.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the Flesh. Somebody in the chat room will remind me, but for some reason I'm drawing a blank right now. No, not the Black Album. I want to say it was the Flesh. It was supposed Dream Factory. Thank you. God bless America.
Oh, right.
If you're going to do anything, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Christian. And Monica and Rodney. Dream Factory, I actually found, yes, online and everywhere else and the other files and stuff, I was able to piece together the Dream Factory as it was originally supposed to be laid out, with some of the songs that ended up in Here, There, and Everywhere. And I actually found the versions of the songs that actually had the segue pieces intact that tied the songs together. And I put it together, and it is a beautiful album. It is fantastic. So if they're going to do anything as far as pressing an album that didn't even exist in the first place, then absolutely do Dream Factory, because Dream Factory was incredible. I don't think there was any semblance of order with Camille. I think it was just all songs that essentially had that high-pitched voice that he did with, Housequake and things like that.
Sure.
And that was essentially it. But Dream Factory was a roller coaster ride. It was incredible.
I'd be interested to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty, it was a bomb. Anyways, so all that being said,
can I say something before you leave that subject?
Yeah, go ahead.
I agree with the comment I just saw about Sign of the Times was still a better sequenced record, though. I agree. Prince was
better sequenced than what?
Then I'm gathering he's saying then. Well, I guess that's a good question.
Dream Factory. I mean, it's not better sequenced. It's greatly sequenced, but if you hear Dream Factory in the way that it was supposed to be, with all the segues in place, it is beautiful. And yes, I have shared that sequence on the radio show, Patreon, patreon.com/Funkatopia. I've played that sequence before with it sequenced out. Okay. Maybe I'll do it in the near future, but I don't know what.
That's what I was thinking was that, however that project started with Crystal Ball being like 3 discs, and they forced Prince to basically whittle it down to 2 albums worth. And
it was supposed to be 3 albums, right?
It was supposed to be 3.
Yeah.
Um,
Bye, Lisa. Thank you for stopping in.
but I guess I just I've never heard Crystal Ball in its entirety, or whatever that record was supposed to have been called.
Yeah, Crystal Ball
But
was a little bit of an interesting. The bootleg of Crystal Ball that I had back in the 80s, late 80s, was very different, or well, like 86, 87, whatever it was very different from the Crystal Ball that we got, because the Crystal Ball or that he released.
yeah,
Because the Crystal Ball bootleg that I had was about the length of an album. It wasn't 3 albums. It was like about the length of an album, and it was some.
okay. Were
It
there
had
any
Rebirth of the Flesh, and it
I was
had
say what any
Crystal
tracks
Ball.
that I would recognize other than
all the tracks that are on. Well, not all the tracks, but like a handful of the stuff that's on the first CD of Crystal Ball, primarily. I'll have to look. I'll have to look and see. But yeah, I mean,
like, is
it
that
was
stuff that was on Sign of the Times or not?
no,
Okay.
no.
So Crystal Ball is completely other music.
Yeah. So, well, no, there was just other songs, tons of other songs that had been written during that period, and Crystal Ball, I don't think was ever sequenced in any particular order, because it wasn't released until it was released. You know what I'm saying? It was not an abandoned project. It was just one of these things that was kind of being created between 84 and whenever it officially came out. Was it 89? I don't remember what year it was. But it was just a bunch of songs that there was this mysterious Crystal Ball album, and there was a bootleg that had a handful of those songs that were sequenced by God knows who. Anyways, there's a lot of great things that are out there and a lot of great opportunities. And yes, I apologize if that anniversary slide kind of messes with some people. But I just feel like, I do feel like the only thing that Chaos and Disorder is going to get is just going to be a remastering. Because as far as you know, I mean, you were there, obviously. Do you remember there being lots of excess tracks that ended up on the cutting room floor?
Always. Yes. There's always a surplus of music.
Yeah.
I mean, Prince never stopped. I would catch him sort of he'd turn catatonic at some point during rehearsal sometimes. He'd just be standing there, and then he'd just take his guitar off and he'd walk out. He'd go to the studio. He never ever wasted. Like, if he heard something something on the inside, he'd be like, I'll be back. Or he'd say, keep rehearsing, and walk out the front door of the sound stage and head on out. And we'd run the rest of the set. Sometimes by the time we finished up, or sometimes before we finished up, we'd get Paige to go into the studio and hear what he did, so.
Yeah. Well, and Brian C. Alfred says, release The Undertaker. But see here, these are albums. Again, one of the other things that, Lundell has also made mention of is like, look, if we're going to sell something, we got to make sure that we're going to be able to, it's got to be cost effective. It's got to be you got to get ROI on something. The Undertaker, yes, we would all love to have it. This would be the type of stuff that The Undertaker, remastering of News would be amazing. Remastering of Expectation would be. Is that the X? That was the name of the album. All the songs beginning with X, and I think Expectation was the name of the album. I remember. But that was a great. I thought that was a fantastic album. But glaringly missing Xenophobia, obviously, which ended up on the One Night Alone box set. But still, Xenophobia would have been incredible there. I think it was just such a standout piece that you couldn't really. Oh, speaking of which, by the way, happy birthday today to the one and only John Blackwell.
Oh, that's right.
It's John Blackwell's birthday today. Happy heavenly birthday. Yeah, we're going to talk about Xenophobia and that One Night Alone tour. You can't go without taking a moment to say happy birthday, John.
Absolutely.
So there's plenty of those albums that are fantastic and will be so great to get released and remastered and and maybe add a little bit of something that would entice somebody to go and buy it, because fans like us, we already have it. So what are you going to be doing other than doing some kind of colored vinyl? That's all good and dandy, but like to be able to have a little something if you're going to be doing something like that. But Chaos and Disorder, The Undertaker, other ones in that realm. The Sheila E. album is another, I don't know, Pandemonium. There's lots of stuff we probably do with Pandemonium. You could make a box set of Pandemonium.
Sure.
I would think that would warrant sales, because that was a really big album for them. So definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, Pandemonium warrants the box set. But there's some of those albums that I'm not saying doesn't warrant a box set because it wasn't good enough. I'm just saying there has to be a demand for it.
It can't just be for the diehards.
Yeah, it just can't. Yeah, it's got to make.
And unfortunately, those are the only people who are visiting us.
Which is fine. I mean,
but I'm just saying, there's nobody to speak for Gen Pop. All these people are have a specific interest, Yeah.
And there were some discussions also about, look, when they actually do some of these things, they're not paying attention to some of it. Like some of these remasterings and things. There's 2 remasterings that I actually saved, which is funny because you get these massive box sets that have pages and pages and pages of content, and there's not really much wrong. But then you do a reissue of Controversy, and on the inside of Controversy, the credits say that Lisa does the background vocals on Controversy, Ronnie Talk to Russia, and Get You Off. Well, Get You Off isn't a song; it's Jack You Off. So there's something that was wrong in the credits of Controversy. Again, shout out to Vast Christian for capturing this, but also on the reissue of Come, on the spine, they had 1953 to 1993, and it's not. It was 1958, the year that he was born, to 1993, the year that he stopped using the name Prince. Mm-hmm. So it's supposed to say 1958 to 1993, but on the spine, on the front spine and the spine, it said 1953 instead of 1958.
Yeah.
but and so what's surprising is that there's with some of these remasterings that they're doing, and I don't know who's doing what, because this obviously has the Estate logo on it and the MPG Records logo on it, but it's surprising that you have these box sets that have so many pages of content, no mistakes, not even grammatical mistakes. But then you do these small things, which I guess there's less purview, or there's less level of checking and quality control, that little things like that get by. But again, I don't envy the task of them having to do these releases, because of people that are able to identify little teeny tweaks and things like this. I would have never, I didn't get the reissue of Come, and I didn't get the reissue of Controversy, because I have them. I have them on. I don't have them on CD, but I do have them on vinyl. And the original vinyl, I don't need I just don't need it. I have it.
Sure.
And so I would have never, but even if I did buy it, I don't know that I would have ever seen. Now, obviously the spine thing, the front spine thing, I may have recognized that one day, but there was another one. What was the other thing? Oh, the record store, Sony did a reissue of The Truth on Record Store Day. And credited John Blackwell, Rhonda Smith, Renato Neto, Najee, and Greg Boyer as musicians on the song The Other Side of the Pillow, but that was just Prince on that version of the song. Those individuals were on the live version, which was not part of that release. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know that I would have. I mean, you really have to be almost borderline kind of like, I guess, a little bit on a witch hunt. Kind of like, I can't think of another term where you're like, you're getting the thing and you're just like looking and saying, all right, let me check to see who the original person is on this. Is this right? Is this right? It's like, whoever's catching these types of errors, they need to be on the QC because who does that? It's a lot of get you off. Maybe if you're looking at that and you're like, wait, that's not a song. I don't know. Would you have seen some little things like that?
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is some of these people here?
Oh yeah. I know. I get it. I get it. I don't know. I feel like there's just so much. Look, errors are going to happen. Mistakes are going to get by. Mistakes are going to happen all day long. It's just the reality of it.
That's the real. That's the real subject of this discussion.
I think so. I mean, well, it also explains a little bit why the estate kind of keeps things close to the collar because it's just like it's like the second that we say something, you guys like go into over analyzation. And I had said this about Facebook.
It's like opening the door on a puppy cage. Wait a minute, well, where's the rest of the
Yeah, the second you say
I've
something,
heard of this album. Now when are they coming out with that?
When you open up your mouth about a date, you're now committed to that date. When you open up, anything you say, you're hardcore. You're thought of as the authority on that subject, and it's kind of just moving. Yeah. But there are so many. What was some of the things that I had? The last song on the Times second album. What time is it? I Don't Want to Lose You. At the end of that, where it just cuts and goes into I don't want to leave you. Yeah. Where it goes into that other song in the middle. For those who haven't listened to What Time Is It? Listen to I Don't Want to Leave You. And right towards the end of the song, it's like, what is it? The last 30 seconds or whatever it is. It just like changes songs in the middle of it. And that was like a huge mistake. Now, fast forward. Imagine if the estate released the equivalent of that now, people would lose their minds. But again, mistakes happen. Another thing, everybody's obviously familiar with Nasty Girl. Everybody's familiar with that song. Who isn't familiar with Nasty Girl? There is Brenda Bennett does the background vocal on Nasty Girl at the 4-minute and 5-second mark. And I don't know if she was singing it too fast or too slow, but they made some type of adjustment to her voice that made it warbly for a second. And if you don't know what I'm talking about here, I'll play it. Let me know if you hear this. Let me know if you hear this.
Everybody, it's the jam.
Okay, were you able to hear that sound?
I heard everybody.
Okay. Now I stemmed that vocal out just so you could hear it. Here is her vocal stemmed out of that so you can hear it better.
Everybody.
It's got this.
Everybody.
It's not her vibrato in her voice. That's an
effect.
It's an effect. It's something, and it's like some type of adjustment was made. But every time I hear Nasty Girl, the second when it gets to the 4-minute and 5 seconds mark, I can't unhear it. It's like it just sticks out because nothing else is like that. Again, the point of that being, mistakes happen and weird little things kind of get through. I guess we just need to have a little bit more what's the word? You're not going to help me on the word, are you? It's what not forgiveness. What's the I'm trying to think of the term. I don't know.
You talk about like a what do they call it? A margin for
I mean, it's just we gotta just kind of just lighten up now to kind of circle back around. The only things because of this discussion that was going on in X, there were people talking about, the estate has canceled this or estate has canceled that. They never promised those things in the first place. I'm not swatting anybody on the hand because you saw it. We all saw it. We saw the image. We know that it existed. We saw the symbol album with the MPG logo and the estate logo, but those were obviously test pressings that did exist and were part of that vinyl recording process where you've got to do what this, that, and the other. And it may be something that's coming down the pike. It doesn't mean it was canceled. It just means that something that is just kind of just sitting there. The only things that they have promised or not promise is not the right word, they said was coming. Around the World in a Day box set is supposed to happen this year. That is the biggest thing on the calendar, is Around the World in a Day box set. Now, if we get to the end of the year and that box set hasn't happened, that's part of the problem with saying some of that stuff out loud. The Parade box set, and this is because it's the 40th anniversary of Around the World in a Day this year. So that's the reason why Around the World in a Day really needs to happen this year in order to make sure that you're properly celebrating it. Again, we're not talking about the anniversary things. We are talking about it, but when you're talking about albums like Around the World in a Day that had some of his biggest hits, and then you have Parade, which has his biggest hit in the form of Kiss, celebrating its 40th anniversary next year. Those are two very, very big albums that obviously will have financial impact. Obviously will get that ROI that they're looking for sure. But those are the only things that were promised. We're talking about music releases, not talking about the jukebox musical, whatever that is, the multiple documentaries or the series of documentaries, whenever that will happen. The only thing I would like to see, because you got are there 2 record store days every year, or is it just one? I thought there was like a couple that happened during a year.
I'm not sure.
So some of these things, like what they did with The Truth on Record Store Day, that would be really, really cool to do a Chaos and Disorder re-release on Record Store Day.
Sure.
And if you have a couple spots like that, if there is 2 record store, yes, there are 2 record store days. Thank you. You have 2 record store days, so that will take care of that. So you do a re-release of Chaos and Disorder, and do a re-release of whatever, just to kind of take those ones that people are going to be out there collecting because it's going to be limited edition, and that drives things. The collectability of having a limited release on something like that makes me want to go and get it, even if I'm on the fence. I'm like, yeah, but if I get it, I'm only going to be one of 5,000 people that have it, or whatever the number is.
Sure.
So
Soul Asylum, we do it all the time, man. We do special releases of things. It's cost effective. It just takes time. You just have to put the work in.
Yeah, I mean, and of course we haven't even talked about the live stuff, like the clip that we played from the Bagley show in London. I mean, the Glam Slam, that could still come, because that could be aligned with that Symbol album, correct? Or what year would have aligned with that? That's 93, right? Could that be something that could be packaged with a box set for the Symbol album, or where would that fit if you were going to release something like that?
Say it again now. I'm sorry.
What year or what album would the Bagley's show, the London show, be best to be packaged with or partnered with? Because Diamonds and Pearls has already been done, so I would assume that would only leave the Symbol album, I guess, that it could, but and that's not.
That was
really
what we were touring for.
Okay, so that was
the Act 2 tour. So yeah, theoretically.
So, I mean, because you had the Glam Slam one that was released. I mean, so why not?
Yeah,
that makes sense that you would include whatever it is that you just did, because that clip that I showed earlier came from a bigger thing. So as far as I know, I don't know that. So it'd be really, really cool to be able to see that partnered up with an album release, a box set similar to that. That'd be great. I mean, because in that Parade one, I'm hoping that Parade one is coming too, because that
they need to throw the video that Another Lover Hole in Your Head, the live version. They need to put that concert out with the Parade box set.
I would watch that.
So killer.
Stop! Oh my God! If they put that in the Parade box set with
so
this,
hot.
that was
with the black and white, the checkerboard kitchen floor.
Oh my God! That was such a great. Well, First, that was just amazing. That whole concert was just.
I know
that
we're
I've
wishful,
seen.
Rodney. I know we're wishful thinking right now, man.
I know.
I'm a realist.
I know. But that's what we're here for. We're here for wishful thinking.
We're just here to discuss the impossible being possible.
Not only rumor and conjecture, but also wishful thinking. Yeah, we got to add
We're
that to the trail.
Every
I'm
whisper.
gonna change it. It's all rumor, conjecture, and wishful thinking.
Yes. Okay.
Detroit 86. Yeah, man. I'm all about it.
Yes, that's it, Rodney. We know y'all ain't gonna drop it, but that's all right.
Yeah, and I did see your message. Is that still an issue, Michael, on your private message?
Definitely.
It is
Definitely.
Okay. And this is the private message we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I see. All right, got it. We'll handle it. Do you want me to handle it?
Handle it, man.
All right. You are you're handled. You were in timeout, my man. That's all right. Sorry, this is the behind the scenes.
I'm tired, man. I'm exhausted watching that dude just blowing up the spot.
Yeah, well,
all right, man. You got too much. You got too many opinions, brother. This ain't your show.
So this is, yeah. Every now and then we get people that get a little bit carried away. You are put in time out, and if it continues, the next step is obviously, you know, just let's not go there. Let's just time out. Just sit in the corner, eat some cheese crackers, and think about what you've done.
Oh man. Dude, really, it's just there's such a thing as constructive criticism, man.
Yeah, it's good. All right,
that's all. There's such a thing.
There is such a thing.
Yes.
Do you think should I do this or not do this? Should I open up the phone lines for anybody that wants to talk?
Maybe he'll call.
No, I wish it to get real ugly, real quick. I don't necessarily do that. All right. I don't know if it'll work or not, but we're gonna test it out. We
call in, Rodney. I never heard your voice before.
All right. Basically, if you have a question, call us live at 567-393-3865. That spells out Lord We Funk. I'm not kidding you. That's what it spells. LORDWEFUNK. Lord
We Funk.
Lord.
Yes.
We Funk. The numbers are 567-393-3865. Again, 567-393-3865. If you want to call in, I will be. I think I may have to take. I don't know if I have to take off the. We're gonna see. I have part of this kind of on mute a little bit, but I want to make sure because I don't like it when the phone actually rings while we're in the middle of a show. But I want to make sure that that's not going to affect me, the capability of me seeing some of these things. So, all right. So yeah, if you have any questions, I think we may be getting a call here from California. Let's pick this up. Let's see if can you hear that ringing?
Yes.
You can hear the ring? Okay. Welcome to Funkatopia Live. Who is on the line?
Aaron.
Hey, Aaron, how are you? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from California.
Hey, nice. What can we do for you?
I want to talk about the Prince album.
Which one? There's a lot of them.
The Symbol album. What I would like to go with it.
Okay.
I would like the full Bagley's Warehouse show.
Yeah, that was the wishful thinking. We went down. We would love to have it, but it's kind of like what it happened, what it not. What other things would you like to see with the Symbol album alongside?
I would the Act 2, maybe like the Germany show, like the last show, or one of the Act 2 shows. Any of those, like the full concert. Because so many people didn't get to see it because Act 1 was so different than Act 2.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
And most of the footage we really do have that's out there is Act 1.
Yeah, so you're actually, he's even more wishful thinking than we are, because he's talking about multiple live shows, which is that's a lot. Multiple live, because it's one thing when you're going to have the album remastered and maybe some outtakes and whatnot. And Michael is just like you said, there was always outtakes, so you're going to have that. We don't really care too much about the edits and the single remixing. I know there was like Thunder Ballet and weird things that, you know, be sprinkled in and whatnot. Is that the right album? Maybe. But anyways, yeah, and live stuff would be great, but live concerts opens up a whole nother can of worms, because he recorded the videography wise, like every show that he did, right, Michael? I mean,
yes, there was always a camera running. Some of them were multi-camera shoots. I remember kind of talking to Kirk back when Kirk Johnson, back when they were deciding which concert to put in the Diamonds and Pearls package, and he was talking about there was one show, I think at Wembley Stadium, that they were considering, but I think that it wasn't either there was something technically there was a problem, or they didn't. It was not one of the ones where there was multi-tracked, you know.
And also the entire show, not the Special Olympics show, not just the rehearsal session or whatever, the sound check. Just
all we did was the Diamonds and Pearls and Baby I'm a Star.
Okay.
At that particular show.
Well, Aaron, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the call. It was Aaron, right?
Yeah, thanks, Aaron.
Yeah, I appreciate that. All right, we got
that was it.
Okay, right, brother.
And you want to hear Rodney's voice? You got it, Rodney. What's up, brother?
Yo, what's good?
Whoa! It's Rodney. Hey, man.
What's up? You tell me.
No, you're the one calling.
You never the plan.
So you're the one with the mic now. So.
Hey, I gave him his goal. You heard my voice. But seriously though, this show tonight. Yeah, just have to be patient. You need to tell the folks that they will not hear everything that was done. It's just not realistic.
Sure.
Just enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Well,
and
absolutely.
Right. And Solid Sounds was successful in the theater. I mean, you might see more of that. Constantly. That's
sure.
I mean, it was a huge success. Yeah.
Your line sounds a little bit muffled. Are you on like a headset or something? Or?
I'm on my roof. I'm on my rooftop, man. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Sound like you called from Stillwater Prison there, Rodney. That's all right. We have a call from a.
I'm actually looking over DC, looking at the monument right now.
Oh, God bless you, man. That's all right.
All right, Rodney. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Rodney. Yes.
No problem. Yeah, have a good one.
You too.
We got another call coming in, and I know, yeah, you can hear the call waiting. This is going to be part of the problem.
That's all right. It's janky as all get out, man. I don't mind. It's cool.
Right, we're all good. And you're on the line. You there, Brian? Brian?
Yep.
Hey, how are you?
Yep,
Man?
I'm here.
That's what's on caller ID.
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. What can I do for you?
I got an idea, another one for a box set they should call Princementals and Madhouse 16, Madhouse 8, and any of those other Madhouse albums. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
That's it.
Yeah. I don't mind that. I mean, there's plenty of instrumentals. I mean, are you talking about just trying to get the Madhouse?
Yeah, I mean,
all in the same space. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm getting echoes.
Yeah, no, it's all right. So, are you talking about like more? I mean, a Madhouse box set we've actually talked about before, like an entire Madhouse box set, 8, 16, and the unreleased 24, which actually
and 24, yeah.
Which technically ended up on I see some people saying that they can't hear me that well, so I'm leaning in. It may have something to do with the phone and me sharing this.
Yeah,
line.
the phone, the calls are coming in a little hot, but
okay,
but there's like a compressor going on. Eventually, your voice rises back to decent level. But
Yeah. So
Yeah, I think it's also too. Don't watch on Facebook while you're talking because then you end up echoing. So you got to just it's like the radio.
Sure,
yeah,
sure. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I definitely don't have Facebook back on. But yeah, I talked about a Madhouse box set before because I thought it would be a good idea because some of those tracks ended up on Eric Leeds' Times Squared album.
Sure.
A good chunk of them, and so that's kind of where 24 ended up. But I remember when they were originally in place, there was like songs like they were called like A Girl and Her Puppy and different things like that. But yeah, that would be a great box set. That's a great that is definitely a great idea.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
another
for
amazing,
instrumentals.
There were plenty of 12 inches from that period too.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yes,
like
yeah,
11s and
yeah.
12s, yeah.
So,
Hey, I'm with it.
all right,
thank you so much, Brian. Appreciate
all
it.
right, all right, man. Good meeting you at the celebration too. Y'all take care. Keep it up.
All right,
All
thank you
right,
so
brother.
much. Appreciate it.
All
That was yeah, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is these are all great ideas, and I think, and we're back to this again, where okay, we got another one coming in. Hold on a second. Welcome to Funkatopia. Who's calling?
Welcome to Mr. C. Michael Bland. This is Adam Laurie calling from Detroit.
Hey, brother, how's it going, man? From the D.
And if you're
I'm doing fantastic, man.
If you're listening on Facebook also at the same time or something else at the same time, go ahead and turn the volume down on that so that there's not an echo. But what's up, man? What can we do for you?
So I just wanted to call in and put an idea out there, as far as a way to get some of these live shows out, because I'm dying to hear, so many live shows in the vault. But obviously, like them figuring out how to release what and when, there's a lot of complications. But I thought it'd be cool to do like a one-off where, you buy a ticket one time only, like Friday night, they're going to pick a show, and then stream it. Not anything you can purchase, keep or whatever, but like buying a ticket, like going to a show,
Yeah.
Well, so
I know they had
just some way to get those shows out.
And I know they had a couple of ideas. Another thing that he threw out there, Londell threw out there, was the possible rehashing of NPG Music Club, which obviously would present itself a little bit of an opportunity to be able to do that there. The other thing is, just like Rodney was talking about, as far as like the IMAX presentation of Sign of the Times, which is a limited engagement scenario that happened for 3 days. Or maybe it was 4 days. I don't know how many it was, but to be able to take some of those concerts and do events like that, right, where you buy tickets, because they did pretty well. I don't know what the final numbers are, but I mean, even before the weekend was over, they were already sitting at $1.4 million for that limited engagement that had very, very limited show times in Atlanta, technically Beaufort, Georgia. They had one show that was happening on Friday, 7 p.m. and that was it. There wasn't another one after that. It was, and so for them to be able to rake in that kind of money for something that didn't, now obviously the state wasn't behind that. They smartly attached their marketing to it after we mentioned something, but they smartly attached their marketing to it and started selling Sign of the Times merchandise, the shirts and albums and whatnot. So there's plenty of opportunity for them to be able to do those types of things. And I think those partnerships with FilmRise and what's the other big IMAX distributor that does the show? They do concerts and plays and stuff. I'm trying to remember. There's another big company that does specific engagements at IMAX. I'm sure somebody in the chat room will do that. But yeah, that's a great idea, Aaron. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for calling in. Do you have anything else, or was that it?
No, that was it. But just that idea where they could really get a lot more material out there. Like if it's every Friday night, $25. Here's the show. Because you got to figure there's hundreds, thousands of shows in there. So it's a way to get that music to our ears, because they're not being real creative about how they're getting stuff out, So it'd be cool to see some out the box ideas. That's all.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Always a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Aaron. I appreciate it.
All right, brother.
Thank you.
All right. Peace out.
And yeah, so there's a that's okay. I'm going to do that at the end of the
I
show.
feel like we're on C-SPAN.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd like to say I don't like all the Black Lives Matters protesting going on in my city. Just calling from Charlotte.
Well, and he makes a good point, though. I was thinking $25 may be a little bit steep. That was the number he just threw out. But the other thing too is that that's what the IMAX show cost. IMAX shows cost $25.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, yeah. Look, we know that there's amazing concerts in the mix. We absolutely know that. And there's so much to play. I mean, so much to play. So I totally get. We have another call coming in.
Why not?
We'll take one more call and let's just see where this
cool.
goes. Yeah. Welcome to Funkatopia Live. Who's calling?
This is Chandler.
Hey Chandler, how are you
Hey
doing,
man.
I'm doing good. My question was, I was thinking, wouldn't it be a good idea if there was something for like the early years, probably the first, I want to say like from For You to Dirty Mind, maybe something just because I feel like they don't get covered enough. Like we've gotten a few demos from that time, but as you saw, like with the I Could Never Take the Place of Your Man demo, even as early as like 77, he had tons of demos there.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. And I think anything they do from that era is typically ended up in the form of a remastering. Just to kind of repress it, maybe do a little bit of, touch up on some of the audio stuff, and then they kind of release it in that way.
Sure.
And I think that's really the only thing that they've really considered doing with some of the early periods, with the exception of obviously the box set they released with 1983 Prince Piano and Microphone, or Prince Piano and a Microphone 1983. I don't even want to get into that because Prince Piano and a Microphone 2016 is what everybody wants.
That's right.
But that's the one, that is the concert that I expect. I'm sorry. Let me just go ahead and just say this because I know that the people that
yes, say it, man.
Next year is the 10-year anniversary. And I appreciate Chandler. I'm not going to cut you loose, Chandler. We're going to answer your question, but I'm going down a rabbit hole. So just grab onto the saddle, wrap the reins around your wrist. We're going to go for a second. Next year is the 10-year anniversary of Prince's passing. And the problem is that I think, considering that was 2016 was the last show that he did in Atlanta, and we know that there are recordings of it. I honestly don't know if there were video recordings of that show, but it was his final concert. Yes, I do know that he had video and audio of the show that was at Paisley Park that was earlier in the year of 2016, but I think there's a really significance of that final show that he would ever play. Sure. In Atlanta, and I know that there's audio recordings of it. They've shared clips. I think there was a clip that they released on Tidal, and I wasn't a member of Tidal, but I did hear it. So the next year being that it would be the 10-year anniversary of that, I'll just go ahead and say it. I'll be very, very disappointed if we don't see some type of release for that. That would be a record store release. Oh, that would sell out in seconds. Of the audio recording of that final show. That is oh my God, that would just be incredible. And I'm, again, I know you can't celebrate every anniversary, but that's a really big, and that would be a huge seller. There's no way that wouldn't be a huge monetary opportunity as far as ROI is concerned. Now I'm scrambling in my brain to remember what Chandler's
question was. Talking about the early, the early demos. Yeah.
So, I mean, if I look at, let me take a look. Chandler, I'm going to take a look at this thing here. For those who want to know what I'm taking a look at, I'm going to look at some of the excerpts and whatnot that were available back in those days. Now, obviously we're talking about the early days of like For You. 1975, you have obviously Do Yourself a Favor, which was a big,
love it,
which is a great track that many have heard Jesse Johnson do on his album as well. That was a Pepe Willie track. Also,
didn't it come out on the 1999?
I believe you're right. Yeah. Was it? Yes,
I think so.
I think so. But here, you also have the 94 East, not necessarily 94 East stuff, but the Don't You Want to Ride, Hey Lover, Spend My Time Loving You, Leaving for New York, Nightingale, Sweet Thing. You have that stuff. This is all preceding For You. Then, of course, you have the 94 East sessions, but then you also have Neurotic Lover's Bedroom, which was a bootleg track that kind of leaked out.
I don't even know. I've never even heard of that.
Neurotic Lover's Bedroom is probably one of the most fantastic leaked bootlegs I've ever heard. It is so incredible. It's probably it's like this really groovy, funky, just I'll make sure you get to hear it. But then of course you have you have For You, the album itself, and then the 94 East sessions, and then you have Make It Through the Storm and Miss You and Nadira and Wouldn't You Love to Love Me. So there are some tracks that technically could be part of some type of rehashing, but I think for the most part, all the leak stuff or anything that's bootleg that's out there from that era are just really poorly recorded. I don't think there's any clean copies of any of that stuff, because even when he was recording it, it was like he did that thing where you, like we used to do back in the day, where you press record and play and you record the song and then, or record whatever you want to record, and then you play that and you record on something else. And that was your,
that's how he used to make his demos. Yes.
Right. And so most of that stuff, and no offense, I mean, they're good quality songs, but it was, garbagey stuff.
Sure.
But then you start getting into then you started getting into the Dirty Mind era. And then you're talking about, there still wasn't a bunch of songs that necessarily would warrant a box set in any means, because even when he was doing those touring with those albums, well, not with those albums, but like Dirty Mind, there was a limited amount of songs for them to choose from. It was just not
sure. That's right.
For them to play.
All that like that 50 sounded music and whatnot. All that all that doo-woppy sounded.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a great idea, but Chandler, I would guess that anything that is going to be released in that regard is probably just going to be remasterings. Not that, I mean, would that be enough for you, or what are you envisioning with any of that?
That would be enough, and maybe a sound check or a concert thrown in.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, you have the Capitol Theater show, which is pretty well out there. I mean, that's been out there for a little bit, but to actually have an official version of that may be cleaned up, like a Capitol Theater would be. There's some good recordings that are out there for sure. But yeah, good thought, Michael.
Yeah, fantastic, man.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate
you,
the
Chandler.
support. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Sorry. It's bad enough the phone does it, and then I have to double up.
You have to double up. It's all right. It's a little glitch. You got a peculiar glitch in your get along there, bro.
That's my ADHD.
That's all right.
I'm gonna start rocking in the corner.
That's right. I self-soothe all day, man.
Oh yeah, that's what
I'm
do,
going
man.
Crazy.
Generation X, baby.
Yeah.
We didn't have the luxury of doing this all day.
Nope. We had to
deal
deal with our problems.
Suck it up, Buttercup. That's
problems.
Right.
Yes,
that's right. But yeah, so I appreciate everything, and I hope that you guys got a little bit more insight as to my thought process, and about why the estate is doing the things they do. But again, also being maybe a little bit more lenient, or just kind of backing up a little bit on the expectations about what we want to see, because we do realize the amount of work that goes into doing these insane box sets. Sure. And they know that that's what you guys really, really want, are these more expanded editions of things. And when you have that type of stuff, there's a lot that goes into it, like you were referring to, Michael, with the legalities of some of this stuff, and because some of this stuff has changed hands, and there's all types of license. It's so many things, man.
What you want is the thing worth waiting for, and nobody else is going to give it to you like the estate can.
Right. Well, here's the thing, though.
We don't have to give you anything.
Right.
They really don't.
Yeah. Michael Jackson fans. I mean, again, you look at what Michael Jackson fans have been going through. It's just like, man, come on. I'm just
somebody said they're cool with what MJ's been doing. Who was that, Nicholas?
Yeah, it's
I'm a
not
big
bad.
fan. He says, like, no, I'm not jealous of the Prince fans getting all this extra.
Lies, all lies. You know you are.
All right, well,
Lies.
okay, fine.
Lies.
All right. Nicholas, he said you lying, bro.
You know, all of Michael Jackson fans absolutely would love to have the volume of output that Prince fans have gotten. They would be beside themselves. They would be doing backflips and everything else. There's no,
Sure.
We appreciate your patience, because you are the Mother Teresa of patience. It's just
the patron saint of waiting for new releases.
Just know we're going to cross this bridge, because here we are almost in the middle of September already. I don't know where the year has gone, and we do not have the Around the World in a Day box set that's supposed to be coming. So
Around the World in the Box, yes. Where's it at?
October, November. We got 3.5 months left in this year, so somewhere in this 3.5 month window, there's going to be a box set that's going to be dropped, according to what the estate has said. And there's witnesses, multiple witnesses. It came out of the mouths of them. So we'll see. But that's the reason why they don't like saying stuff out loud, is because now we're holding them to them. But it's the 40th anniversary this year, so that's the reason why there's a little bit more. There's a little bit more to it. Yeah, and we get it. Sammy McGee says Michael doesn't have the material. I did ask Casey Rain, actually, we had a discussion at one of the celebrations, and also we talked about it on X too, that Michael still has about 3 albums worth of unreleased material that's just sitting there that they have not done anything with, but that's still nowhere near the volume of music that Prince has. I mean, it's just not.
Isn't that amazing how Prince ran further on his own than some people could with all the help in the world, man? I mean, not that it was all necessarily for popular consumption. I mean, Prince, I really think he made music to turn himself on. He didn't really, I think when he wanted to be in that, in that popular space, it was reachable for him at certain times. I think that 1999 was completely a calculated thing. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, let's notch up. Let's take over mainstream radio now. Little Red Corvette, 1999. I think that he really, and then he said out of his own mouth that the Purple Rain thing was a phenomenon. And he was like, if this is all it is, I'll go back to doing things to please myself.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, and Warner Brothers, they bet on him,
That's, man. Well, and it's good, because it's just, Rodney says, he said his best work is still in the vault. Well, you don't want to say too much of that stuff out loud, because they'll be like, all right, well, let's release
Come on, Rodney. Now.
All right, let's take well, I've got a couple shows that are coming up in your area that I want to talk about, but before we do, let's go ahead and kind of do a little bit of a palate cleansing here and watch a little 4-minute video to take a look at his genius on something else that we'd probably like to see released. Let's take a minute and enjoy this.
Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wow, man, you messing with my brain this evening, man. I was just, hey, listen, I'll speak freely. I was two young ladies that I knew came over to London. They had some other reason to come to London, but they were from Minneapolis, so I knew them from here. And I was like, great, you guys can come over and you guys can come to as many shows as you want at Wembley. And one of them said to me after the show, she's like, he's better with a mic stand than most guys are, if you give him a whole woman to work with. She was catching the vapors in the 3rd row, like, oh, look at Prince. Oh, man.
Yeah, I see. What were you thinking?
During that, don't mess up.
Don't mess up.
keep watching because you don't know what Prince is going to do. And if you miss it, you're going to be up all night, chewing your lips, mad.
Yeah, and
I didn't like making
there's
mistakes, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, and you didn't. That was like incredible. But what's even more, see, when you have a song that's like got a lot going on, there's every now and then it presents opportunities that you can hide mistakes behind. But when it's as raw and succinct and breathing like that,
you got to really. That's right. There's nowhere to hide. And there's what 14,000 people at. Oh wait, that was the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah, that was Tokyo.
I don't know how many people that was.
Probably millions.
So, probably millions. Yes, I think it was.
I don't know what the Tokyo. I don't know what
I don't know either, man.
The
but
capacity is
but
insane.
Also, that was one of the tours, so I did relax a little bit. You know, once we got to a certain stride in the tour, I was cool. But I made my share of mistakes on that run, man. Prince had me in his dressing room every 3 or 4 shows. Are your shoes too tight? What can I do, man? You know,
that's what he
don't I work hard enough? What can I do so that you stop messing up my show?
Is that what he was saying?
Iron. He's not even looking at me. He's looking at himself, curling his hair. Yes. What's wrong with you? What do I have to do? You need a raise?
Oh my God, that's hilarious. That's
Don't I work hard?
Are your shoes too tight?
And I couldn't say nothing, but I just stood there and took it. I'm sorry, Prince. Don't be sorry. Be sure.
I've actually heard him say that before. Your shoes too tight? What did I hear?
Yeah.
That? I've heard him say it before, but I don't know why it strikes me funny every time.
It's
a song where he says that.
Yeah, it's like, why aren't you concentrating? And it's just like, I was 19, 20 years old running with these super uber professional musicians who had already been there. That was Fink and Miko and Levi. Those dudes said, man, they were so locked. I followed them. They didn't follow me.
Thank you, Pete.
50,000. Yeah, I'm out there. Nothing between me and the air or nothing.
Mark Hardy says, Prince Vault says 50,000 people were at the Tokyo Dome show. 50,000. Okay. All right. And Pete, thank you. Yes, that's where I remember hearing it from. It's Morris setting it in Purple Rain. I kept hearing my your shoes on too tight.
Yes. I think I
remember that now.
He really hit me with that one. I don't remember what it was. You're not making enough money? What's wrong with you? How come every night? That's how I think I told the story about that. That's how he ended up saying Michael B all the time. Because he said, good God, and I didn't do nothing. And he said, all right, I'll fix you. He said, I'm going to tell the tour accountant, if he hears your name said over the PA and don't hear no music come on, that I'm taking your money. Michael B, pop! I never missed it again.
Meow.
Prince gonna take my money. Prince gonna try to take my money now. I can't have that. I better get right.
Well, I love taking you down memory lane.
Apparently, man, you got me tripping.
I got a couple of shows that I know you probably want to talk about, or that I want to talk about, because if anybody's up in that area, let's talk about this one first.
Ooh,
Music of Earth, Wind, and Fire happening Sunday, September 21st at Crooners. And what's that website again? It's
that's Crooners Lounge MN.
Yes.
.com. Yeah.
That's CROONERS loungemn.com. Tell people about this show.
Yes. It's only that this place only holds about 150, 160 people.
Is this sold out?
Tickets. Huh?
Is this sold out already?
Not yet, but we today I think somebody said we 55 tickets sold. We got another 11 days or whatever. It's going to sell out. So,
Henry Nelson asks, how many times do you think you got fined? If you didn't guess,
you know what? He never took my money, man. He always threatened to do it, but he never actually did it to me. The only time I know that he actually did it was the time we played in. Was that it was either Toronto or Ontario? I think it was Toronto. And Tony Damon and Kirk went out and bought themselves Blue Jays jerseys, and they came out on the encore with Blue Jays jerseys on, and they won Funk Night. So Prince handed them the money. He said, I got to give this to you because you out-funked everybody, but I got to take it back because you didn't get me a jersey. So he gave him that money.
They didn't have any in the kids section.
Oh, well, all right. You got jokes. Oh, you got jokes.
But anyways, music of Earth, Wind, and Fire. For those that are listening on audio, it's going to be featuring, obviously, it's under the musical direction of Mr. Michael Bland himself.
Yes, that's my band.
Yep. And he just dropped off. He clicked something. He just dropped off. So I'll finish telling everybody about it. He must have had a bad connection. But it features G Sharp, Mark Lichtig, JB. Again, Michael Bland is directing the whole thing, but it's also featuring Tommy Barbarella on keys, who we just had. He's back.
My computer's all sorts of.
That's okay. Tommy Barbarella is on keys, who, if you missed the show last week, you can just go back and listen. Tommy Barbarella was on the show.
That's right. Sure enough.
And you got Jeff on guitar over there, Ron Long on bass over there,
That's
Scott
right.
on trombone, right? You saw it. And
all the cats.
And that's on the 21st. And if you happen to be, maybe think, oh man, I'll be there that week, but I mean next week, but not that one. That's okay, because
you can just drive up to St. Cloud, Minnesota, and catch us. Right.
That's right. Yeah. So the same bands happen on the September 26th.
Ooh, we're hot in September. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
That's gonna be nice.
We're killing this Earth, Wind, and Fire music. You don't think Philip Bailey gonna come walking out? When you hear us, you will think Maurice gonna set up right in this do like Dracula.
Yeah, it's a couple. Yeah, definitely. So a couple of great shows happening, urban classic shows.
Yes.
Again, September 21st. That's this month. Crooners Lounge MN. Again, that's CROONERS Lounge MN for the tickets for that one and .com.
And then this one at the Paramount Center for the Arts. I played there many years ago with Soul Asylum. It's a really nice venue. St. Cloud's a pretty quiet town. We're expecting to see any real fans of real music that come out. So, how can you not like Earth, Wind, and Fire? I think the actual Earth, Wind, and Fire was just up there a little while ago. So, it must be the right market.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just they're so. I mean, it's such an amazing band with such an incredible catalog, and there's so much to work with. And I know you guys kill it. I mean, you guys are all pros, so I know it's amazing. I've not seen that one, but I've seen variants of I know the level of excellence that is going to be seeping from that stage. So I don't.
That's right.
I don't question it at all.
I run with an excellent crowd, brother. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, you do. Yes, you
believe in doing it right.
For those that we're coming in to close the night, but for those that are just tuned in, a couple of housekeeping announcements. Obviously, next week we will not be on the air. We're taking next week off, unless something crazy happens, like a special announcement or something. Then I may come on, but next week we will not be on. That's okay. You got plenty to work with. You can download the Funked Up app on both for Android and also in the Apple Store for iPhone, and a lot of past shows are inside that app. You just open up that app and you can listen to all of them for free on the Funked Up app. It is a 24/7 ASCAP license and global music rights licensed app that plays music, got 24/7 funk. And then, of course, obviously the most important thing, really what we need more than anything, is to become a member for you guys to become a member of Patreon to help support us, because those fees, the music fees, the licensing fees are no joke. Patreon.com/Funkatopia, Patreon.com/Funkatopia to join the family. I just got done sending out a bunch of gifts today. Matter of fact, we had little, I guess they're technically makeup bags, but they're really cool canvas bags that had mixtapes images on the front of them. We got, some of the IMAX cards, the commemorative tickets that are inside there. Plus there was some other things like, stickers and whatnot and things in it. And of course, even the members that we don't normally do mailings for, I sent out the IMAX commemorative cards to anybody that put their address in. So it's really, really cool. And I do have some more available too. Matter of fact, I will set up, just keep checking back, but I do still have some of these cards left. If you did not have IMAX in your area, if you had IMAX in your area and they didn't have these cards available, I do have some left over. I'll put them in the Funkatopia store, so just keep an eye on that. So funkatopia.com/shop. I will put some on there. You know, I mean, I've got to pay for envelopes and labels and to ship it and all that stuff. And so I'll maybe for a few bucks or something, I'll put them on the store, just enough to cover the cost on it. And I'll get one to you in case you didn't get it.
A lot, man. They don't appreciate you, Mr. Christopher. You be doing a lot.
We do whatever we can. But
all right. Yeah.
Man, I am so glad you guys support us and continue to come here every single week and just get a chance to relax. Listen, I also want to take a really quick, very, very quick opportunity to kind of let everybody know that I realize there's a lot going on in the world, and it seems like I talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people seem to be capped out, like seem to be really overwhelmed, and was happening with people in my family. It's happening with me. And I talk to a lot of people who just say they're just overwhelmed by just emotions and with things that are going on. And it's just people just get overwhelmed. And so that's one of the reasons why we probably need to take a break next week, so that we too can kind of, take some time to kind of just, and I want you guys to do that too. I want you guys to kind of take some deep breaths and just spend some time, just some quiet time. Find some time between now and the next time we get together, at least a few times, to just find a quiet place somewhere in your house where no phones, no headphones, no TV, just kind of just regroup and just spend some time focusing on your mental health, because we all need it. And I just felt like I felt like it needed to be said, because I feel like the more people I talk to, there's so many people that are, that's, for the lack of a better term, capped out.
Yeah. It's a turbulent time, man.
Yeah. So spend some time on you, please.
Yes,
do.
Yeah.
And obviously stay tuned on all the social channels, x.com/Funkatopia, youtube.com/Funkatopia, facebook.com/Funkatopia. That is normally where I post things first, is on Facebook, because we're Gen X. So that's where we post stuff. So that's where a lot of our folks are. So we do it, but I'm reaching out I'm doing Instagram stuff. You guys see the Instagram, you see my effort, Instagram, X,
yes.
all that stuff.
Efforts all around. Yes. Yes.
And if you missed any part of the show, if there's anything that you missed, or you want to check out some of the previous shows, you can do that too. Again, download the Funked Up app, become a member of Patreon, patreon.com/Funkatopia, but video, youtube.com/Funkatopia. Please subscribe, do all that stuff to watch previous episodes. And if you're an audio person on the road, you can go to Spotify, iHeartRadio, Odyssey, Apple Music. We are on all of those channels. And so wherever you listen to streaming music, we're there. So, check it out. Thank you for everything. I hope you guys had a wonderful night, and I greatly appreciate all of you. And, get your closing comments in, because this is where we normally pop up those little goodbye, have a good night.
Yeah, exactly. Start loading up now.
Start loading them up right now. Thank you guys so much. I hope you had a wonderful time. And if you missed it, you know where to go. Good night. See ya. I'm Mr. Christopher. That's Mr. Michael Bland. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Remember, spend time on you.